Welcome to this explainer. If you close your eyes and picture the Taj Mahal right now, chances are you see a perfect, pristine postcard. A glowing white marble dome against a clear blue sky, perfectly reflected in that tranquil pool of water. It's an absolutely stunning visual, for sure. But honestly, to just see it as a beautiful building, that's kind of missing the beating heart beneath the stone. Today, we're going to look way past that static image and explore the Taj Mahal for what it truly is. We're talking about a dynamic, emotionally charged marvel of human engineering, and quite literally, the most monumental act of devotion in human history. We're going to unpack the legend, the architectural impossibilities, and the deeply human story that willed this eternal silhouette into existence.
Okay, let's dive right into this. First up, we'll look at an eternal love story. Then we'll unlock some construction secrets, examine the rare marble and stones, explore the hidden rooms and myths, and finish up with exactly why the world still cares so much today.
Section 1. An eternal love story, Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal.
You see, before there was a monument, there was a man, a woman, and a completely devastating heartbreak. To truly understand the Taj Mahal, we really have to scale back all that grand architecture and start with a softer, incredibly intimate human element. Because this wasn't built for a nation, and it wasn't a victory monument for a war. It was built for just one person. It was born from the deep romance and tragic love story of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan and his absolute favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Just look at how quickly this emotional catalyst triggered a physical reality. We start with the romance, years of this inseparable bond between Shah Jahan and Mumtaz. And then we hit day zero, the tragedy. Mumtaz Mahal passed away, leaving the emperor just utterly shattered. But look at what happens next. Barely months later, ground is broken. That is a wildly rapid transition from paralyzing emotional tragedy straight into the physical manifestation of grief. He channeled his profound sorrow into a construction mandate that would literally consume the empire. And finally, decades later, we reach the final polish of the complex. It's just a fascinating trajectory, isn't it? Human emotion driving this massive physical creation.
Section 2. Unlocking construction secrets, engineering a legend. All right, we're pivoting now from abstract love to concrete, awe-inspiring engineering. The vision was massive, sure, but the logistics of actually building a structure of this unprecedented scale right on the soft banks of the Yamuna River, that required an immense, almost unimaginable logistical effort for the 17th century. The sheer ingenuity it took to turn this emotional vision into a standing reality is just staggering. Step 1 was laying the foundation. They actually had to dig these deep wells, fill them with rocks and mortar, and create a base that could support a monumental amount of weight on shifting riverbank soil. It was a brilliantly advanced technique. Step 2 was erecting the core, where they used a massive brick scaffolding instead of bamboo. Then, step 3, adding those iconic, perfectly proportioned domes. And finally, step 4 was the final polish, bringing all those intricate surface details to life. Breaking it down step by step like this really shows how a seemingly impossible, incredibly ambitious vision was meticulously engineered into reality.
Section 3. Rare marble and stones. The physical layers.
So we've talked about the engineering framework, but what about the actual skin of the monument? To immortalize a legend, you need materials that essentially speak of eternity. The materials used for the Taj Mahal are a story all on their own. We're talking about a massive mobilization of resources designed to create an otherworldly aesthetic. Unquantifiable tons. I really want that phrase to sink in. The crucial point here is the absolute mind-boggling scale of this operation. We aren't just talking about a few cartloads of nice rock here. No, we are talking about thousands of elephants working tirelessly to transport mountains of heavy, dense, unyielding materials across vast distances. To manifest this vision, an entire empire's wealth and logistical power were heavily leveraged just to bring the raw materials to the construction site.
First up is the famous translucent white marble, which actually gives the monument its magical ability to change color depending on the position of the sun and the moon. Then you have the precious gemstones embedded directly into that marble to form those intricate floral patterns you see up close. But the third point is the real kicker: expansive geographic sourcing. This wasn't just local stone they found on the road. The marble came from Makrona, hundreds of miles away. The jade and crystal, those came from China. The turquoise was brought in from Tibet, the sapphire from Sri Lanka, and the carnelian all the way from Arabia. This was a massive, unprecedented global effort, drawing the absolute finest materials from all across Asia and the Middle East, and bringing the whole shebang to a single location to honor one woman.
Section 4. Hidden rooms and myths, shadows of the monument. Now, anytime you have a structure this massive, this famous, and this old, it's bound to cast some rather large shadows. And, well, in those shadows, myths inevitably grow. So let's lower our voices a bit and step away from the gleaming white marble to explore the fascinating conspiracies, folklore, and dark myths that have surrounded the Taj Mahal for centuries. You might think wild rumors spreading uncontrollably is just a product of our modern internet age, but let me tell you, try the 1600s. One of the most famous myths out there is the Black Taj Mahal. The story goes that Shah Jahan planned to build an exact replica of the Taj Mahal directly across the river, but made entirely of black marble to serve as his own tomb. It's a fantastic, super dramatic story, right? The perfect mirrored counterpart to his wife's white tomb. But what about the historical reality? Well, despite decades of excavations and meticulously searching the opposite riverbank, archaeologists have found absolutely no evidence of a black marble foundation. It seems this was purely a romantic legend cooked up by European travelers of the era that somehow just stuck. Then there are these persistent whispers of undiscovered, hidden rooms deep within the foundation. There are literally sealed doors in the basement levels of the Taj Mahal. And let's be honest, wherever there is a locked door, human imagination runs wild. Some myths suggest they contain vast treasures, others claim they hide dark structural secrets. Now, what's really interesting here is that the historical consensus is much more practical, that these rooms were sealed simply for structural integrity and to prevent the basement levels from deteriorating due to the river's moisture. But the sheer existence of these inaccessible spaces ensures that the monument retains a powerful, lingering sense of mystery to this very day.
Section 5. Why the World Cares. Worldwide Fame.
We've explored the history, the stones, and the shadows. Let's peel back this final layer and bring the narrative right up to the present day. Why does a tomb built way back in the 17th century still command our awe today? Simply put, because the Taj Mahal successfully transcended its original purpose. It transitioned from a highly personal, localized memorial of one man's unimaginable grief into the world's most universally recognized symbol of love. When people from every corner of the globe see this structure, they don't just see 17th century Mughal architecture. No, they see the absolute ultimate representation of eternal devotion. It's a physical manifestation of an emotion we all universally understand, locked forever in brilliant white marble.
Which leaves us with this final thought. Think about the scale, the effort, and the uncompromising dedication it actually took to build the Taj Mahal. Then, take a look at our world today. How does modern society memorialize what we care about compared to this eternal silhouette? Could any digital footprint, any modern architectural feat, or any current expression of affection ever truly match the staggering standard of devotion? It's a pretty fascinating question to ponder as we consider the things we leave behind. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really hope it gave you a whole new perspective on a true wonder of the world. Keep exploring and keep learning.